about to begin. What you should know is this. In the state of California, every county has the right and obligation to convene a grand jury to investigate issues of public trust. Here, members of the grand jury are about to question a few top administrators of one of California's community colleges. They are concerned with the preparedness of our institutions to cope with emergencies, such as the shootings at Virginia Tech or campus damage by wildfires or other natural and human-made threats to our campuses. In the present case, earthquake.
Will the hearing please come to order?
The following depiction is an event that could happen to you and your campus.
President Todd, could you please have a seat at our table? On behalf of the jury, let me offer our condolences to the parents of students and families of faculty who lost their lives or were injured in the recent earthquakes and the fires that followed. We are here today to determine responsibilities that are based on exactly what happened at your campus. To that end, Mr. President, we'd like to know just how prepared you and your staff were. We appreciate your candor in this regard. You have been given a list of 18 questions concerning the formal and legal issues of emergency preparedness. We'll take a look at best practices. In this case, those recommended by the Operational Area Emergency Manager for our county, as well as those you found particularly useful. The big question that we hope to answer today is, what did you do as a top administrator to meet your obligations to ensure the safety of your campus? So, do you expect all your employees to be trained as disaster service workers?
Yes, in varying degrees. In fact, under California law, all public employees, including faculty and staff, are considered disaster service workers and are expected to be trained and provide services as assigned during a declared disaster emergency.
Can you show that your team actually provided these services as expected?
Yes, we have records and logs that show what was done, when, and by whom. Before this disaster, I questioned the economic sense of prioritizing for emergency incidents. I mean, with tight budgets and competing priorities, emergency management was not at the top of my list. But there's a program called the DRCCC. That's for disaster-resistant California community colleges. And after attending several workshops and sending staff to various trainings, well, I had a change of heart. I now consider emergency training as the single most important program that we have invested in the last 2 years. When you stop and think about it, disasters and related liabilities are the greatest threat to our mission and economic well-being. I'm convinced that had we not carried out mitigation and prevention measures, and then our preparedness training and response and recovery exercises, that tragic as it was, loss of life and property on our campus could have been much greater.
Thank you, President Todd, for your informed and moving remarks. Tully is your designated emergency manager, is that correct?
Yes, he was appointed because he is highly trained in both law enforcement and emergency management.
Thank you, President Todd.
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming. Can you tell us about your college's effort at compliancy?
I should say that being prepared is more than just being compliant. It means that all campus personnel, students, and visitors are aware of potential threats and are prepared to respond to any emergency. It's as simple and as complicated as that. The documents you have before you describe the trainings, drills, and exercises and the various mitigation activities that we've engaged in during the past 2 years.
Very good. What ensures that you, or really any campus, comply with these protocols? What are the incentives to do this, or the penalties if you don't?
Penalties, of course, for negligence will be decided by the courts on a case-by-case basis. But by now it's clear that colleges that do not comply risk loss of state and federal.
This hearing will go on for hours, but you get the point. Would you have been able to answer the grand jury's questions as confidently as President Todd and Chief Tully?